in the frozen depths of a Nazi prison camp, where every breath could be a betrayal, words became weapons deadlier than guns. In 1944, Allied POWs turned coughs into a code that didn't just escape the guards, it broke them. This is the chilling tale of one night when whispers sparked mutiny in Stalag Luft III. Welcome to World War II Shadow Echoes. Subscribe for more forbidden signals from the front. Stalag Luft III, Stalag Air III, rose from the Silesian sands in March 1942. A Luftwaffe masterpiece of captivity designed by none other than SS Major Gustav Semmeleit, a balloon-busting ace from the Great War. Perched 160 kilometers southeast of Berlin near Sagan, this escape-proof fortress sprawled across 150 hectares, its sandy soil laced with alert wires and seismic microphones buried 3 feet deep to detect tunneling. 3 compounds, east, center, north, housed up to 10,000 Western Allied airmen from Bomber Command's Lancasters to Eagle Squadron's P-51s, all captured in the relentless skies over the Reich. By late 1943, as the thousand-year Reich cracked under Allied bombs, Stalag Luft III swelled with the defeated elite. RAF Pathfinders, American Thunderbolt jocks, even a handful of Canadians and Australians. Their wings clipped, but spirits unbowed. Life within the wire was a theater of the absurd, a macabre ballet of boredom and defiance. Mornings dawned to Appell. Roll calls in the Appellplatz, where ferrets, security goons in blue uniforms, tallied heads under the gaze of 200 guards, many themselves conscripted Poles or Volksdeutsche with haunted eyes. Barbed wire perimeters, 10 feet high and topped with barbs like frozen thorns, encircled the blocks. 60-man huts of pine planks, bunked 3 high with straw palliases infested by lice dubbed Luftwaffe paratroopers. Rations? A mockery. 300 grams of black bread, watery ersatz coffee, and soup from turnips that tasted of boot leather, supplemented by Red Cross parcels smuggled through the gates. Spam tins pried open under tables, their contents bartered for contraband like civilian clothes or cameras. The Germans, ever the engineers, had sunk foundations deep to thwart digs, but the POWs laughed. They built it for pigs. We'll make it for foxes. Enter the X organization, the escape syndicate masterminded by squadron leader Roger Bushell, a South African-born RAF ace with a monocle and a grudge. Shot down over France in 1941, he'd already tunneled out of 2 camps. Squash, as his men called him for his pre-war racket's prowess, assembled a 600-man machine from Block 104's North Compound. Forgers like Des Plunkett crafting IDs from table tennis bats and powdered milk. Tailors like Wally Floody sewing civilian suits from Red Cross blankets. And cartographers mapping the 400-kilometer trek to neutral Sweden. But escapes demanded more than shovels. They required whispers, communications as vital as oxygen in this suffocating box. No radios, no mail unscrutinized. Every note risked the cooler. The solitary cells where men like Harry Wiggy Ward stared at walls for 30 days on bread and water. The code began with taps. Morse under bunks, short raps for dots, long for dashes, spelling GOODNIGHT in nightly rituals to morale. But ingenuity bloomed in the mundane. British POW Arthur Pritchard, a Welsh tailor's son downed over the Ruhr, stitched secrets into shirt hems, dots as tight threads, dashes loose, dispatching laundry to MI9 back home via neutral Swiss parcels. The seams hold more than cloth, Pritchard later quipped in his memoir. Americans, ever the improvisers, layered cough codes during Appell. A quick hackdot, a phlegmy wheeze dash, coordinated by glances. Tunnelharry. They'd rasp in unison, the line's rhythm masking the message from ferrets barking orders in guttural German. Flight Lieutenant Jimmy James, a Battle of Britain veteran with 200 missions under his belt, orchestrated from Hut 104's Block 123. His cell a nerve center of pilfered phone fur-lined boots stuffed with maps. James's diary, smuggled out in 1945, recounts the first code trial. October 1943, a mock cough spelling REVOLT under the floorboards, testing the guards' ears. Yet despair gnawed. The Gestapo's shadow loomed. Himmler's orders demanded no escapees after Dieppe raids. Executions for tunneling attempts. 50 after the Great Escape. Haunted dreams. Guards, those goons in Feldgrau, were a mixed lot. Hardcore Nazis like the sadistic Scarecrow with his rubber truncheon, but also the weary, conscripted bakers like Hans Becker, a Berliner whose brother froze at Stalingrad, now patrolling with a Mauser he loathed. Becker's kind, good Germans in POW slang, smuggled cigarettes or turned blind eyes to parcels. Rumors filtered through. D-Day whispers via BBC scraps and chocolate bars. Hitler's rages over lost factories. By March 1944, as Tunnel Harry inched 30 meters from Hut 107 to the woods, the code evolved. Foot taps joined coughs. 3 quick raps for GUARDSWAVER, a signal that Becker and 3 others, Otto, a Rhineland farmer, Klaus, a one-legged veteran, and young Fritz, a Hitler Youth dropout, overheard in the latrines. Doubt festered. The Eastern Front's collapse, with Red Army tanks at the Oder, cracked their loyalty. The Führer's mad. Becker muttered one blizzardy night, slipping a crust with a scrawled note. Watch the wire at 0200. The stage was set, not for escape alone, but for betrayal from within. March 1944. Stalag Luft III thrummed with subterranean frenzy. Tunnel Harry, 9 meters deep and ventilated by 200 bed slats punched as stovepipes, snaked 111 meters from the hut stove to Freedom's Pines. Dug with table knives and soup bowls, the sand dispersed in trousers penguins. Those sewn leg bags dumped during Appel. But the X-Committee, Bushell's inner circle of 12, including Per Bergsland, Norwegian ace, and Bob Taylor, American forger, knew tunnels were half the battle. Communication was the vein. Without it, the 76 escapees risked chaos. Enter the cough code's maturation, a symphony of subterfuge born from desperation. It started in Block 123's latrine runs, those thrice daily marches to the 50-man wooden outhouses where guards lagged and POWs huddled. Jimmy James, with his Oxford drawl and unyielding gaze, assigned choirs. Groups of 6, their hacks synchronized like a faulty engine. Short cough dot for E or I, drawn out gurgle dash for T or M. The beauty was the banality, James wrote in The Hidden Wound, his 1983 account. Who suspects tuberculosis in a camp of flyers? By January, the code spanned compounds, east to center, via smuggled notes in volleyball bladders, inflated and kicked across the wire. Des Plunkett, the Irish navigator with a knack for locks, embedded micro-maps in chess pawns, their Morse-tapped positions relayed during sick parades. One transmission, February 12th, GOONSDOUBTFUHRER, coughed during a flu epidemic that felled 200. Becker caught it, his face paling under the Appel floodlights. A Berlin draftee in 42, he'd joined the Luftwaffe for the adventure, only to bury friends at Dieppe. Stalingrad's ghosts, his brother among the 91,000 surrendered, whispered louder than the Führer. That night, in the guardroom's dim bulb. Becker shared a papier, roll your own, with Otto, a Cologne Coleman weary of ferret duty. The Russians come. Why die for this? Otto rasped, fingering a hidden Luger. Klaus, the amputee from Kursk, with a prosthetic leg that clicked like a metronome, nodded. Fritz, barely 19 and scarred from Ardennes frostbite, wept for his bombed-out Munich home. The code had pierced the wire. Technically, it was elegant peril. Morse, Alfred Lewis Vail's 1830s gift to telegraphy, required only rhythm, 5 letters per minute in bursts to evade echoes. POWs practiced in isolation. Ward in the cooler tapped KEEPDIGGING on his cell wall, the vibrations felt by neighbors. Women in Sagan's auxiliary camps, rare but including OSS agent Virginia Hall's contacts, stitched duplicates, their needles pricking fingers raw. But the guard's fracture deepened the risk. Similites ferrets, those 250 blue-uniformed bloodhounds with X-ray eyes, prowled with geophones, sensitive microphones that hummed at shovel scrapes. One false hack, and the game ended. Beatings with rubber hoses, or worse, the 20 questions interrogations where Gestapo from Breslau pried with pliers. Yet the code proliferated. In the theater, POWs staged Hamlet with soliloquies laced in coughs. TOBA.OR- drawing laughs from guards who saw only entertainment. Red Cross visits became conduits. Parcels tagged with invisible ink questions, answered in cough replies during handoffs. By mid-March, as Tunnel Harry's mouth neared the woods, 111 meters out, 8 meters short due to a compass glitch, the whispers targeted the weak links. Becker, now Sparrow in code, slipped a key under Hut 107's stove during a friendly parcel count. "Revolt at Moonless," it read in scratched Morse. Otto forged passes from the print shop, his hands shaking as presses word Mein Kampf propaganda. Klaus, mobile on crutches, mapped guard rotations. Fritz, the boy, eavesdropped on goon gossip. The Eastern Front's thunder, Soviet Katyushas at 50 kilometers, fueled their fire. Goebbels' radio lies crumbled under BBC truths smuggled in razor blades. Bushell, sensing the shift, adapted. No longer just escape, but subversion. "If we can't all flee, we'll fracture them from within," he murmured to James over ersatz tea. The night drew near. March 23rd, a storm-lashed Friday. Winds masking digs as the tunnel's air pump, bellows from goon mattress stuffing, labored in the dark. March 23rd, 1944. Sagan's pines bent under a gale, snow flurries veiling the moonless sky. Stalag Luft III slept fitfully, its 2,500 North Compound souls braced for Appel's dawn. But in Block 123, the code crested. At 2000 hours, as ferrets locked the gates, James's choir assembled in the latrine shadows. 20 men, their coughs a covert orchestra. NOW, the rasps spelled, rippling hut to hut like a chill wind. Becker, on midnight patrol, froze at the wire. His flashlight caught a penguin's glint, sand spilling from trousers. Heart pounding, he signaled Otto with a prearranged cough. -ALLCLEAR. The pivot, no tunnel dash tonight. The revolt code took precedence. At 0200, the storm howled cover. Fritz, the youth with trembling hands, unlocked Hut 107's side door with Becker's pilfered key, the click drowned in thunder. Inside, 200 POWs, escapees and stay-behinds, stirred like ghosts. Bushell, monocle glinting, whispered the signal. COUP. Chaos bloomed silent at first. Men in sewn civvies slipped into the yard, shadows merging with snow. Klaus, crutch clacking, herded goons from the guard room. "Surrender or shoot," He growled in broken German, his Luger steady. The ferrets, caught mid-yawn, dropped weapons. Scarecrow thrashed but was bound with bootlaces. Becker and Otto turned the tide. Rifles reversed. They herded 50 guards to the Appellplatz. Flashlights dimmed to signals. HALT in light blinks. Fritz, tears freezing on cheeks, manned the stolen megaphone from the theater prop shop. Der Reich fällt. The Reich falls. His boyish voice cracked, but the words, amplified over the gale, pierced the compounds. Panic rippled. East compound POWs, hearing the echo, tapped replies from bunks, REVOLT in wooden Morse. Vibrations felt across the wire. The twist ignited. Not all guards bent. A hardcore SS Unteroffizier, Iron Gustav, rallied 20 loyalists with barked orders, Mausers chattering into the dark. Bullets whined off barracks, splintering pine. 2 POWs fell. Young Canadian Len Chechko, gut-shot mid-dash, and Aussie Tom Lee, crumpling with a head graze. Bushell roared back, "To the tunnels!" But Harry's mouth, flooded by melt, was sealed. The code had birthed a siege. James, seizing the radio room unlocked by Klaus's kick, broadcast a feigned BBC intercept. Soviet tanks at Oder, Sagan liberated at dawn, lies laced with truth. Red Army was 200 kilometers east. The fiction broke the last spines. Goons fractured, half surrendered, hands high. The rest fled to the woods, abandoning posts. By 0400, 300 POWs held the north compound. Guards zip-tied with curtain cords, the wire cut for egress. Becker, tears streaking his face, handed Bushell his iron cross. "For the brother I lost to madness." The mutiny's toll: 4 dead, 20 wounded, but 100 escaped into the storm, vanishing toward the Elbe. Simulite, roused from Sagan town, radioed Berlin in fury. "Mutterei, revolt!" But Gestapo reprisals lagged, delayed by the code's chaos. Dawn broke gray. Appellplatz, a tableau of bound blue uniforms, POWs in stolen Feldgrau standing guard. The Great Escape's shadow loomed, but this whisper-born uprising had rewritten the night. The echoes of that whispered code reverberate beyond Sagan's sands. Stalag Luft III's fall in January 1945. POWs force-marched west, guarded by good Germans like Popeye who slipped food and maps, ode to such fractures. 50 executed after the Great Escape, but the mutiny saved hundreds, a testament to subversion's power. Today, Sagan's museum taps Morse on interactive walls, honoring Bushell, James, and the turncoats who chose humanity. In our surveilled world, it whispers, "Codes break chains, not just walls." What code would you cough in captivity? Comment below, share your Stalag tale. Like if Defiance stirs you, subscribe for more shadows, bell on. Next, chefs who poison the Reich's palate. Until the taps resume, stay unbroken. This is WW2 Shadow Echoes.